Hello, listeners. My name is Ian Oudkirk, and I am a training facilitator in customer care as well as management. In this podcast of customer care, I will be looking at the communication factor. A main area in customer care is communication. This is because there will be a lot of verbal interaction between yourself and the customer. There are always ongoing discussions with customers. These occur when selling, refunding, explaining, upselling, informing, etc. If a special effort is not made to get your message across in an acceptable manner, then a customer could be lost forever at that point of communication. To avoid your customer going to your competitor through poor communication, you have to be honest in your deliveries. Don't make false promises. Don't state what is not true about your product or service. It may work for the moment. However, when the customer discovers at a later date that he was given incorrect information and the item of purchase fails to work, that customer would not be returning to engage in further business with your company. To avoid creating a dissatisfied customer, there are 6 areas which must be considered when engaged in the act of communication. 1. Ask questions and explain in a complete and understandable manner. 2. Listen and be honest whilst being aware of your authority. 3. Be polite and friendly. 4. Portray a willingness to help. 5. Support information and explanations with facts and examples. 6. Offer solutions. Before I close my talk on communication, I would like to make a brief talk on the topic of emotional intelligence, as there is a relationship with communication. Many interpersonal relationships which may have ended in a win-loss or loss-loss situation could have ended in a win-win situation if a certain amount of emotional intelligence was used by one or both parties during an act of communication. What is emotional intelligence? A definition states, open quotes, knowing how to control your own emotions whilst determining the emotions of others, close quotes, during communication. In other words, if the reply to a question posed by you is not to your liking, restrain yourself from getting angry until you have determined what may have caused the individual to answer in the manner that he or she did. Therefore, the first step in practicing the art of emotional intelligence is to be aware of oneself, taking into consideration your state of composure. Before engaging in any communication that may generate some form of animosity, you need to ask yourself, am I in the right frame of mind to enter into any discussions on all areas of the present topic? If the answer is no, then you might have to call into play a certain amount of self-management and self-regulation that would help when involved in interpersonal skills. Further, when engaged in a conversation with someone and you suspect that his or her reply or statement is not acceptable, one needs to first determine if something contributed to the individual's apparent improper words before letting your emotions make you counter with a statement that would cause an increase in tension. To be on top of the game in practicing emotional intelligence, one needs to be in good mental health. This leads to increased decision-making capabilities and leadership ability, which in turn reduces stress, builds relationships, avoids conflict, improves self-control, and increases empathy awareness. To be in good mental health, one needs to adopt the following: stay active, manage stress, keep a healthy diet, and maintain the required hours of sleep. At another level is the difficult customer. At some point in time, you would most likely come into contact with one who falls under the category of difficult. However, once you know the right steps to take when there is such an occurrence, you can diffuse anything that may be becoming volatile. Difficult customers can fall under 6 categories. These are the angry, the impatient, the intimidating, the talkative, the demanding, and the indecisive. However, irrespective of the category, one needs to explore the root cause of the customer's bad behavior. Invariably, the customer is not being personal in his actions. And if you carry out a little analysis after calmly asking questions that may be hypothetical, some background may be revealed that is causing the customer to allow a personal problem to make him or her react in a negative manner, and you need to use your skills to diffuse the situation. Some form of empathy may be needed. Further, adjust to the customer's education whilst anticipating difficult questions. Most of all, dampen hostility with cool, lowered tones. Let me underline cool, lowered tones. This brings to an end this podcast, where we looked at the communication factor regarding customers, as well as the steps to take when dealing with difficult customers. Please look for my other customer care podcasts, where I address certain skills required when interacting with customers. Remember to send any comments for my answers. Thank you.